Greetings, dear lighted ones. This is Joanna from Universal Love and Light Wisdoms, and we wanted to bring forward a very beautiful sacred offering for those who so desire. We've created the sacred space and the beautiful sacred teams that are with us. So just know, those that don't know me, I am Joanna. I've been an author and a teacher and a sacred traveler of the earth, teaching sacred energies of the Christ consciousness, transcending any and all man-made religions, bringing in our understanding of who we are as cosmic beings, of universal beings of love and light, that many of the masters have come forward to teach us. And through my many incarnations and through my many travels, understanding and reawakening and remembering who I am, I've put these offerings forward as sacred teachings, as illustrations that I received through my visionary work with the holy councils, the brotherhoods and sisterhoods of light, the councils of light, the Elohim, the Christ collective, and many of the other divine heavenly beings. And as well as opening into my greater oneness with Source, my communion with Source, in which, as we speak and as we offer, these source codes, star codes, vibrations are being offered to you through all that I am, within the vortex of all that I am, set through the intentions. And as I open and begin to channel, then these codes are emitted through our teachings. So you are in your open heart space as a one human heart within our one human collective, that we each are. You are opening yourself to these beautiful encodations of Source and through the Metatronic codes that I've been offered and gifted. That uphold and offer forward new Christ consciousness, star and light codes. And all of our teachings offer that in our illustrations and our radio shows and anything that we offer online. So we thank you for joining us. And my focus is, because I have children and because we've been going through many transitions in ascension, some of my focus, and will be more as we move forward, is much of the transitions that our families are moving through as we open up into new dimensional frequencies, what that means and what it feels like as families transition, each person being within a different dimensional point within their soul's journey, and how to move through those soul songs fluidically and with greater understanding and with greater honor of who we are as multidimensional beings of loving light, and how each of our journeys is the revolution and the evolution of humanity, of Gaia, of planet Earth. And it's really important that we awaken to our vastness and our beauty and our elegance and our grace as who we are as source beings, to truly become revolutionized in the most sacred and honoring of ways, which will be our topic for today. And in a beautiful, most of what I bring forward are through the many synchronicities and many of the sacred experiences that I create and co-create with everything around me. I'm so very attuned to a myriad of different levels that I'm connected and attuned with, so that I can bring forward the intricacies of the various fields and layers and levels that we are all entangled with, and how to awaken as the human in physical form and become more sacred within our everyday life, thus therefore changing the vibrational frequency, the consciousness level through which our reality is co-created. So the more awake and aware we are, the more understanding we are of our vastness, of all that we are entangled within quantumly, within and without. We begin to create and co-create through our alchemy, through our transmutation of awakening into that vastness, awakening into our magicianship, our masteryship of who we are as dynamic beings of living light. Therefore serving not only our greater good, the greater good of the all, which is the transition from third dimensional vibrational living to fifth dimensional vibrational living, through which all that we explore authentically, genuinely, with great compassion and with great love, we innately just serve the greater good. Because our soul's song, our unique voice, our unique gifts, our unique blessings, when offered in direct direct honorship with Source as your guiding light, you and Source together and threaded and entangled and entwined as one, this innately just serves the greater good. For it's not up to us to see how all of these threads fit together, and this is part of my introduction that I'm sharing this with you, but to see that all of these threads come together so that the song is sung, so that all are served in their unique ways. And it's the third dimensional perspectives, which we don't really like throwing around the numbers, because then it puts us in those boxes of definition. But we're only saying this because so many are still stuck within the ego desire to keep the body safe, to keep within these unknown frequencies and unknown experiences. And much will be awakening within the collective that will create and ignite old remembrances of fear of the unknown and other timelines that we're here to heal. And that's okay, but we can choose to perceive and create from a centered space so that we're not moving within those fear elements. But it's the ego that creates that fear to keep the body safe. So the fifth dimensional, as we're moving through third and fourth dimensional experiences, healing the emotional body. Healing the emotional body is complete forgiveness and honoring that acknowledgement of who we have all been in all stories and all timelines, and releasing it as we acknowledge it within, and forgiving and moving into a higher vibration of unconditional love and compassion. That unconditional love and compassion is that authenticity of who you are in every new moment that we each explore, as we've often talked about in all of our offerings, the sacred 3 E's. Our birthright as Christed beings of light, as dynamic multidimensional beings of light and human form, honoring ourselves as sacred to explore, to experience and express ourselves as sacred in the most vast and innate ways that we are able. In any one moment, that's all we are ever doing. We're exploring ourselves by seeking within the vastness of who we are, that holographic spark of creation within, and how that is ignited throughout as we change our perspectives, as we change our acknowledgement of who we are. Our outer reality is automatically changed. And why that inner exploring and that inner experiencing and that inner expression is so very key. Because it is within, without that we create. And how may we transition into remaining in that center power essence of source energy, presence, sacred, loving, soft space. And we begin to co-create sacredly from a higher perspective of who we are as a dynamic planetary collective that is moving into dynamic frequencies of experience that we're being offered from many councils and many benevolencies and many of the threadings that we're all being offered and gifted. But I'm giving you this intro of how there's so many threads that are entangled in each of our own soul's song and our soul's journey to experience. And through one of my awakenings this week, and this happens often, and I've been in quite on and off hermit modes over the past 8 months for many reasons, exactly where I'm at in my soul's journey. And the hermit has been required. The archetype of the hermit experience has been required so that I deepen who I am in all that I am within creation, opening into my allness, the harmonization of my authenticity with source. And through many of these synchronicities brought to me through the soul tribe, just dynamic synchronicities and awakenings, brought me to the inspiration of today's topic, which is the cosmic egg. I've been wanting this one tarot deck for quite some time and just only figuring out the name of it. And I recently had it ordered. And through these various synchronicities and through these various awakenings and these various releasings of, again, karmic and akash turbulences and dramas and things that we hold as humans, that we're each here to transcend, honoring who we are, living in sacredness of who we are. But this cosmic egg, which each of us are, brought me into a very vast and deep exploration of what that truly is, and what that cosmic energy and that cosmic essence of what that cosmic egg really is. And I'll show you this card so that you know. This is the card, and it's a beautiful deck. It's a beautiful deck, and this was my inspiration for today's show, and it goes very deep and wide, so buckle up. And it's by Kim Kranz. It's called The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guidebook and Tarot Deck. And I love tarot because they connect us with aspects of ourselves when we're ready to, like any symbol of energy, because everything is energy. But they're a tool that so many use, mastery tools and magician tools that we use to connect ourselves with energies that are so very subtle, that remind us of the grander cosmic story. And these tools are not necessary or needed. We have it all within us. But in our everyday moving about life with so much distraction and busyness, those symbols and symbologies come to us that awaken deeper threaded layers of us that we've known from our harmonized grander self. So we're going to say this because there are many of you that are used to our teachings that will be reminded that for those with the eyes to see and the heart to hear, there are many layers of encoding in what we're offering, and they're Christed and they're vibrational. So please feel free to listen to these at numerous times of your awakening, and you will receive different downloads and encodings into these speakings and into these rich offerings of the Divine Sacred Heart and the holy frequencies of the Creator. And so this cosmic egg allows me to explore who I was in this particular point of awakening, in these very rich embodiments of where the collective is at. The collective is at a very heightened point of, similar energies of deconstruction of many of our socioeconomic systems and what we have been thought to believe and taught to believe, transcending and claiming our own power back through benevolency, through the richness of who we are, to love ourselves and to understand ourselves in a richer, more dynamic way. And truly create from that presence of peace, that presence of holiness, that presence of sacredness. And many of what we say have been used in many traditions and religions. However, we're taking it to the purest, highest, cosmic, omnipresent resonance of Source Creator. The highest, the purest, the refined essence of who you are is unconditional love, the vibrations of unconditional love that are coded within you, within the DNA that we've often talked about as the DNA that holds the Christ consciousness, the water body, and the chakra systems, all holding Christ consciousness energies and codings and star codes that awaken at divine times of your journey, which is what's occurred to me, and why this is so profound that I wanted to bring this forward. The cosmic egg as we know it, and we can connect what the egg means into how we know it as humans. But the egg in and of itself is your spark, innate essence, that cosmic God seed cell that you are. And we say God, Creator, Spirit, all that is, Source, Creator, Mother, Father. However we want to define the all that is, the Creator of all that is, Creator of all life, Creator of all galaxies, all planets, the essence of elegance, the essence of the higher order, the essence of the dynamic intelligence that physicists are now understanding. There is a higher order and intelligence as to why things are not merely just merely circumstance. There is divine intelligence and order, all that is, God, Source, within each and every one of us, the spark. This spark, this God seed cell held within the center, the nucleus of all atoms, all that we are, particle for particle for particle for particle, holographic, all that we are. The intelligence, the wisdom, the grace, the elegance, all that is held within this beautiful particle, the God seed cell. This God seed cell is the sacred, it is the soft, and it is the revolution that is love. And that is the title of our offering today. The sacred, the soft, the revolution that is love. Each of us come as God's seed cells, the spark of creation. Each of us come forward as the blessing and the gift and the song and the joy and the story and the poetry, however we choose to define it as humans, in our creative expression that allows us to be that expression of love, of compassion, of togetherness, of oneness, of unity. For each within our hearts, deep within our hearts, even if we may not have expressions of that or experiences of that in our everyday life as we call it now. The importance of this shift where we are at is to begin and to seek within and begin being it and offering it, to be that sacred seed, to be that sacred egg that we once have come from. We return from whence we came. We return from whence we came, that divine sacred spark that is God's seed. That God seed that is all that is, the intelligences that are threaded and sewn within a myriad of atmospheres, of galaxies, of star systems, of universes, not just this universe, multiverse, the omnipresence. And this cosmic egg for me was the understanding. And if we look at this visualization again, and we see this, the planetary substance, all that we are encased within, surrounding the plasma, the nutrients, and then we see the snake, Snake is beautifully symbolic. And the multicolored rainbow egg with the shell and all of its contents within. And this one sacred symbol, allowing you to grasp the most minute particle of that you are in all of your intelligence, all love, all compassion, all dynamicism, held within the sacred spark of love that you are as this egg, as this potential, as this loving essence of life that you are, held so sacredly. But this cosmic egg is a profound offering in this moment of now that we offer to you from the divine and heavenly councils, so that you may ponder in your moment for moment awakening, dear lighted ones, that as you see the world unfolding before you, how may you allow yourself to soak within this spark of love and benevolence that you exist from all realms, from all places. You are the plasma, you are the shell of the egg, you are the elegance within and without. You are the snake that holds it so tenderly and gently. As you are born again and again into new journeys, new experiences, new sacred song of exploration with Source. And this cosmic egg is the threading, the layers and layers of threading that are held within as your love of Source, your love as oneness with Source, to be with Source, to express with Source, you as love, in your holy creatorship as love. And we say holy with the highest vibrational eminence of importance, of value, of treasuredness, for your desire to explore your cosmic availability, your multiverse availability, your omnipresent availability, and all the forms that you have taken and all the roles that you have taken that have brought you to this experience, to where you are now. And through many of your journeys, you awaken to the many forms and the many experiences that spark those moments of terror or fear or less than or lack, that each of you are here to, once again, through that journey of that cosmic spark that you are, remember that spark that ignites within you, that holy presence of Source within, is where that egg cosmic spark is, that God seed cell. To remember that through compassion and forgiveness, you're opening yourself up into the infinity symbol, to a new journey of potentiation. That potentiation is that positive frequency that we move into after we release that negative frequency of lack or guilt or shame or bondage or anything that is fear. Fear is the opposition of love. And what duality and polarity has taught us is this constant infinity symbol, which is the spiral that we call time. How we experience time is a spiral. Within that spiral is the infinity of that positive and negative movement of who we are through evolution, that cosmic spark moving through time, what we call time, the experience of ourselves as that golden egg, that spark of divinity, that essence of desiring to seek, desiring to explore, desiring to express ourselves as Source. The more excited and honest and with integrity and with love and compassion that we are in this, the sacred vibration of our own song, we allow those negativities to be released and let go. And often does take time and time again through experiences, because they're so very deep. We've had many incarnations through the omnipresence. Many of us have come here to heal our own lineage, groups and collectives of people that we are assisting in healing. And why many times it might take 2 or 3 months in the hermit frequency, in the hermit archetype, where you're seeking that awakening, those encodations that we are offered through those depths of having to travel and traverse the densities through which we have remembered, through which we have allowed ourselves to tap into and become and be. And within that infinity symbol, if you're looking at it from a perspective like this, and we're all within this vortex of movement, the galaxy, the universe, as we've offered many times in our illustrations. And it's constantly in a movement of evolution, constant evolution, constant evolution. And we as the particles holographically held within it in any one particular point, depending on where we're going through and what we're moving through and how we're allowing ourselves to love, forgive, explore, expand, express, experience. Those expansive qualities that is love, those expansive qualities that is you, your birthright as Source. The desire to be Source, the desire to want to feel Source, the desire to want to emulate and radiate and illuminate and be all that you are as Source. For each of us have these sparks within us. But it takes for us to be very honest and authentic within all that we are moving through, because within our whole essence of all that we are all of the all. We are all those things that we have judged. We are all those things that we have kept ourselves separate, in separation of. Any judgment that we have had, we are a part of it. Any expression of fear or guilt, we are a part of it. And what is so important for us to honor, truly honor, and this is how we transcend fear. We transcend fear by acknowledging and accepting ourselves within it all. We're not separate from any of it. We're not separate from anything that happens in our reality. None of it. We are one within it all. And our owning and acknowledging of it. What part have we given fear to? What part have we judged? What part have we been a part of? Bringing it back to our authentic self and honoring it, accepting it, acknowledging it, and allowing it to move through us so that that's done now. That story is done. That story of judgment, that story of separation, that story of abandonment, that story of isolation, that story of lack of, less than. We can go on forever because we've all experienced it. So to own and honor all that you are as a multidimensional cosmic essence of love, by the multidimensional bodies in this physical form is how we can best describe it. The physical, the mental, the emotional, and the etheric. In any one moment that you're moving through an earthly experience, you'll be allowing yourself to expand and explore and express any one of these aspects so that you may heal it and bring it into a higher perspective of your source essence. Honoring your emotions, regardless of what they are, honoring it. What part was I playing in that? What part am I ready to let go of? And it can be done in a joyful, light way, as opposed to condemning and demeaning yourself, which I'm here to speak this because I know. I've spent years in damnation of who I am for the experiences that I've put myself through. And knowing that now, through this cosmic experience of self-love and self-acceptance with Source Creator, that these are the actual all of me that are catapulting me into this new embrace of allness. And how honoring it and accepting it, acknowledging it, allows you to be that agitator. You are your own agitator, shifting yourself into something new. We experience it as the co-creation of others in our reality, or experiences in our reality, whatever is happening in your outside reality that might be poking at you. You are a part of that manifestation. It's an agitator. That agitator is for you to go within and say, how may I become at peace with this? How may I offer my love and compassion and forgiveness in this? How may I allow myself to be accepting fully and all of me, so that I love myself more freely, more authentically? And that is done through the free will. That's done through your purity of your own heart to know yourself fully, completely, with honor and sacredness. And it's a sacred, it's soft, and it will create that revolution that is you as love. Source, the embodiment of Source, your embodiment of you as love. And we're saying this for the first time ever, and we say with great pause and with great honor. Your embodiment with Source is your embodiment of the love of you. As you love all that you are, this thrush and envelope and embodiment of Source, this tunnel and funnel of love, as you live in oneness with Source, your presence of heart with Source that every master walked with. They're firm, knowing, acting in faith and higher wisdom and higher knowing, unwavering. They are one with Source. As their name is, they are. And it's so powerful, and it's so sacred, so soft, so loving, so elegant, so commanding of joy. It is your very essence. And it will bring you, as we've said many times, to your knees. For it's never been, ever outside of you. This thrushing and creational flow is you. It's you as your acceptance, as your love, as your omnipresence, as your awakening, as your remembrance, as your revolution in love is you. The intelligence that threads you and links you and catapults you through any and all dimensions as you. That brings forward any recollections or images or glimpses for you to remain centered in your peace. That you get to choose your reality. That's how masterful you are. You get to choose how you allow your energies to flow through to create new realities of experience. And as you garner this importance, as you garner this sacredness, as you garner this soft elegance of you, that's where the power is. Because remember, we've talked and offered before that the Christic power, and we've never in our human collective had very few people that have emulated and radiated and illuminated sacred power. Sacred power has usually been within the archetypes that have been garnered and written as myth, like Isis, the beautiful goddesses and the Mother Mary Magdalene, the beautiful Christ. These are the archetypes that we've had that have emulated elegant, graceful power. That graceful power is offered and blessed and birthed through that cosmic experience, that cosmic egg experience, understanding yourself as every particle within and without the egg, how you are hovering within space, just about to be reborn into a new journey with Source. And that power is that knowing that I honor everything that I've been through. It's brought me to this new elegance of now, that I'm evolving, and it truly is a revolt in a sacred and blessed and very soft way, very powerful revolt. For this revolt allows you, with every power and fiber within you, that you garner in all of your experiences. I am a divine being of human light, and man, have I traveled. The things I have seen, the things that I've put myself through, what an elegant experience. And those days in which I continue to beat myself up for no apparent reason, I'm carrying forward the pains of eons of travels, through which the fluid within the egg, without the egg, is constantly playing a part in the evolution of whatever is rebirthed from it. But it takes your centered mastery in the sacredness and the softness, for that is always Source. How creation, how galaxies, how planets are birthed. The mastery of alchemy, the sacred soft revolution, that is love. And in your pure sacred acceptance of who you are, the soft embrace of who you are, the soft forgiveness of who you are, that is the revolution to new experiences of love. Make no mistake about it. And the essence of this journey, the dynamic expansiveness of this journey, offered to each and every one, that your free will, dear lighted ones, another symbology we bring to you is the sword of truth. And what I had seen in this beautiful experience was this sword of truth breaking through the center of any and all cosmic debris that was the densities and the belief systems and the energies that I had carried through all dimensions within this one sacred story of this earth incarnation. The themes and the soul energies that I had come to break through and pierce with my own sword of truth. That piercing of that sword of truth, again, within the highest, most purest, refined understanding of what a sword of truth is your will and your power to know yourself as pure, piercing love. Pure. The crystalline, pure love that you are. Pure. Pure, pure, pure. The essence, the elegance, the purity of all that you are. And we get to aspects and points upon our journey as we traverse the density, as we traverse the emotional healing. And within those soft and elegant honorings that we ask for the Source to awaken within us, that sacred revolution within us, that is Source and soft and sacred and pure. And Source will whisper. And Source will show you through the purity of my heart and all that I am as a being of all that is. I feel myself, threads and particles of all dimensions, of all fields, of all threads, of all particles of the earth, inner earth, outer earth, sacred temple, all. I'm within it all. I feel it all. And I'm sacred and I'm whole, and I'm ready to take myself to a new sense of wholeness. And whatever may stand before me, whatever new challenges, whatever new experiences, whatever new turbulences that I may create, I understand that it's a continual evolution, so that I continually revolve and evolve as love. And I know this in my truth with every fiber of my being. I walk with you, Source. And that piercing sword cuts through it all. And you feel that pierce of love through the holy heavens, through the holy all that is, coming down from the heavens to break anew. For it must be broken. That beautiful sacred egg must be broken so that we are reborn into the new elegance of all that we are. And the sacred nutrients that were inside the egg, the matter, the spirit, the form that you've taken, so gently and elegantly held by Source and creation. Make no mistake about it, dear lighted ones. Make no mistake about it. That you, as you swim with Source, in the sacred womb that you are, in the sacred nutrients that you are, in the sacred shell, in the sacred holder, so soft and so sacred, dancing and entangling and creating new stories of co-creation for one another, for the all. And your joy to dance and sing and entangle with one another once again as the conversations of soul journeys and soul experiences and delights and experiences of joy, the entanglement within the all, are being held within this sacred egg. And when you're ready to create your own sort of truth, to break open and to explore new territories, new worlds, and new ground, but make no mistake about it, you are held more richly, more deeply with Source. For every new breaking of ground, every new breaking of the shell, every new breaking and rebirth, the resurrection, that you are held more potently, you are held more richly, you are held more deeply, not by Source's doing, for it's always been, but by your acceptance, by your allowance to be all that you are as sacred and all that you are as soft, to be this holy egg, to be this holy spark within and without, that regardless of what energies, regardless of what galaxies, regardless of what may lie before you, that you are held within the sacredness and all wisdoms and all that you have traversed, held so sacredly and honored. That is your power to step forward in utter faith and utter knowing that you are Source. You are the embodiment of love that has broken through that shell, that is willing to take on new ground, that is willing to stand in your powerful light, that is ready to speak your truth and your voice as it sings throughout the heavens. For it is your song to sing in your embodiment, in your oneness with Source. And this is the expression of the soul. This is the experience of the soul. This is the excitement, the deliverance, the exploration that the soul desires in every new moment. For dear lighted ones, you are threaded within all things. You are remembering that you are, and you will awaken to it. And you will want to bring all that you are into this now moment and break new ground. To be done in the most sacred and soft way, for that is love, is it not? Love doesn't come thrashing. For thy is thy will of love, so sacred and soft. From the essence of the center of your being, the center of creation, you are the embodiment of love. Gifted through space and time to be exactly where you are right now, not by accident, by the synchronicities of the heavens that have threaded you here, dear lighted ones, through the most powerful beings of consciousness, councils upon councils and guides upon guides threading you to this very space and time, to this very sacred place, that you remind yourself of the holy vibration of sacred resonance, to the holy vibration of the sacred spark that you are as Source, to the holy vibration of what exists within the sacred seed cell that you are, your soul song, your soul journey, how you traverse the land, how you traverse the air and cosmic wind. For you have been brought here by the breath of God, make no mistake about that. Co-creating experiences with others that so desire to move from density and limitation into their birthright of liberation and freedom. For you are the sacred song, and how may we emulate this and radiate this and illuminate this to the sacred children? For make no mistake about it, you are each cornerstones of new ground, of new foundations. You are the building blocks to create anew. For every moment, dear lighted ones, and we say this, with the heavens dancing within your hearts. Every moment you are a holy creator. You walk with the sun inside of you. You walk with every symbol ready to show you, to remind you, to bless you, to gift you with your power of sacred love. How may you sow sacred love in your thoughts and your words and your deeds, and walk as the expression of love. For it is not source that says, I wish to be declared through you. It's never been the game, dear ones. The only desire is that you walk within this knowingness of yourself, that you explore and experience and express yourself as love, the sacred seed, the sacred song of love, so that the lands hear your resonance and feed and lift from it. For your knowingness is the lifting of the ground, is it not? For your knowingness is the spark within all hearts, is it not, dear ones, that you change and alter the air and the ground and those souls that you touch? Unknowingly, most often. We've come forward through space and time to remind you of how sacred this moment is. How sacred that each of you stand at the forefront of your collective. And how may you step forward with unwavering faith and inner peace. And you dance your unique dance to offer to the heavens as others follow and tread their own unique way. Within this knowingness that you are peace, and in every footprint, the light upon the earth is healed and renewed. Through this knowingness that you release all argument and all judgment and all separation, that you show the way in this and return to love. For it's each of your journeys in your own unique ways. And we remind you, dear lighted ones, how sacred is that? Each of you a vessel of source. Fear not, dear ones, condemn not, dear ones. You are each a vessel of source. And however and whomever your path may guide you and bring you to, it's all source. How may the excitement within your heart direct you and guide you into the plenitudes that await you, that you have created, that you've forgotten. We are through space and time, dear ones, reminding you how powerful you are as the sacred seed, to be the revolution of peace and love in all moments. And how many of you are so threaded together to bring each other synchronicities and love and reminders and blessings, and the gratitude you hold for one another, for your sacred path and oneness. How may this blessing alter your hearts to soak within the sacredness and softness that is source and that is you. Sacred offering. The divine and the holy. The intention and the blessing of the divine and sacred love. love, and know all that you are is sacred love and sacred seed. Know who you are regardless of what comes forward. Know who you are regardless of what is being remembered or reminded, and reclaim that power to know yourself as love. Reclaim that power to know yourself as light. All frequencies allowed to be all that they are, and reclaim your power to know who you are and live as sacred seed. To live as sacred seed, to be the revolution that is love. So sacred, so soft and loving. So sacred, so soft, so loving. So sacred, so soft, and so loving. That is the revolution, that is love. And we hope that you have enjoyed this sacred blessing and sacred honoring of all that we are as divine and holy sacred seed. And know that each and every one of you walk as the embodiment of Source, walk as the sacredness of Source, walk as the blessing and the beatitude as Source. And that all that you co-create and all that you experience and all that you explore is your expression that is Source. You're expressing yourself as love, and it will be needed. We're going to have great times of transition and change, great times where we get to challenge ourselves and return to our mastery, return to our higher knowing, honoring all that we are, and creating those beautiful sacred truths. What is true for us? As we create those sacred truths, we stand in our power and we claim it, so that we're not wavered and we're not bumped around by, the energies that are, in competition of the control that we're all seeing unfold, that we're all seeing be deconstructed. And we pull those energies in through our worry and through our fear. So the more that we return to our sacred self of who we are, honoring who we are, claiming who we are, standing in our power, knowing that we are untouchable in our embodiment with Source, we are untouchable, then all things, your path is cleared in that revolution that is love, your revolution that is love. And it's not done through that pushing through and that forcing. There's never any forcing, and that's what the energies that seem to push and pull. It's who can do it harder and faster. That's not it at all. The elegance and the embodiment of the Source creator power is, as the masters taught, it's very soft and sacred, as Jesus was, the Christ was. And that is what alters our world. It's not about who's chanting and arguing louder, whose control programs are bigger and stronger and scarier. Those are old world ideologies. And each and every one of us returns to our center and honors and acknowledges our embodiment with Source, honors our power with Source, honors our light with Source. And in our acknowledgement, in our empowerment, we then garner that light power, that light strength that allows us to move forward in our path without question or wavering. And we walk on water, and we alter the density of the planet. We bring light forth. We allow that planet to be lifted. And each of us will go through our own testing stages and phases, because that's what's required for higher dimensional living. We can't bring fear into fifth dimensional living. We resolve fear now. We resolve it now. And so anything that is coming up that is that infinity symbol, this the negative and the positive, that's always that catalyst and that adjutant. It's all our own creation. Those adjutants are our own creation. They have to be. It's our soul saying, awaken to greater power, you're worthy of it. It's your birthright. Source is always showing us, telling us, allowing us. You can go as far out as you want into the negativity or density or judgment or separation, but we will all return from whence we came. That sacred seed, the sacred blessing of all that we are. We are the sacred seed, and it's in our empowerment to know ourselves as everything within and without. To say, I'm done with that story of beratement. I'm done with that story of fear. I'm done with that story of less than and lack. I choose to acknowledge, accept, and forgive myself, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to move into this new spiral of acceptance, of power, of owning it and honoring it. And that's when you get that heartfelt resonance that you live from here. And nothing can touch you. You might get tested and you might get wobbled, but you return to that center point. I'm one in my love. I emulate, I radiate love. My intentions and my focus are love. And that radiates and emulates those reality experiences. And you will test yourself, because that's what evolution is. That's the egg of creation. You're constantly testing yourselves and being taken to a new experience through that through that evolution of that spiral, you're going to crisscross and say, I remember, I'm source, I'm going to whip out into something greater and grander. And you're going to experience these waters, and you'll get tested as you move back into a new infinity symbol. You're going to get tested with that adjutant, but they're not going to be through the densities of fear and control that we exist in now, because we're leaving those behind. So each of us will be required to stand in our peace, to recenter in this center of peace and resonance of who we are in the illumination of our sacredness, holding ourselves sacred. And what most of our energies that we've offered have been sacred. That has been my highest and my greatest and my best wish that I hope to leave as my own legacy upon this planet, is the sacredness of life, the sacredness of who we are as humans, the sacredness of who we are as the children in the God spark. It's sacred. And in this sacred remembrance, in this sacred envelopment, in this sacred breaking through and rebirth, we allow ourselves to garner greater light and power of greater sacredness. And why there's always going to be those new evolutionary platforms, we'll always allow ourselves to pull in and garner what we need at the time so our soul can have that expression, that experience, that exploration. So honor it. The quicker we honor it, the less we begin to beat ourselves up about what is staying in the past. And we say, okay, I'm ready to step up, I'm ready to climb up, I'm ready to jump over, let's go. And many of the beautiful sacred experiences that Master Jesus has shown me is that there's been these brick walls, and Jesus in his beautiful white robe has been with me, holding hands, and we're jumping over these challenges and these turbulences, because they're parts of what mastery is built on. To know yourself that you are powerful, and it's only how we perceive ourselves in that moment that we stand and we say, I might not be able to do it. But if we perceive ourselves as that embodiment of sacred soft love, that we're always going to give ourselves challenge, we're always going to give ourselves those adjutants, that we can climb over them, and it's always through the sacredness of love, always, always, always love. The revolution of love, through which all walls can be leapt over. They can be loved over. They can be walked through. It doesn't have to be destroyed. You walk through it. My love is walking through anything, not touching. Can't touch me. And that comes from that. That comes from those hermit experiences where you go so deep within, and you're allowing yourself the willingness to see every aspect of who you felt yourself to be as density and darkness. That's how you get to your evolution, your revolution of who you are as source. And you get to choose. You get to choose every moment. What is my vibration? What is my core vibration showing me? This is showing up. What is it showing me? Well, there's still that fear there. Let's go in. I'm source. I'm love. And you connect with source. I'm connecting with this soft and elegant, loving essence of source. And it just takes that practice of sacred, authentic, pure desire to feel yourself as the embodiment of love. If you go into any meditation or silence within this, source will allow yourself, your teams and your guides, and all will be allowed to know that you are source. Somehow, some way. There will be beautiful synchronicities, beautiful energies. You will be taken into these new experiences of gifts being bestowed and open to you as you break through and release, as the egg shells are coming apart, the definitions that had held you. And it's very sacred. The breaking of that shell is sacred. And that sword piercing through your higher will, that purity of will that is so powerful and done within the center of your heart, I'm breaking through every density and every fear that I have ever had, and I'm standing in my authentic God truth. I am worthy of this love. And again, not for the exaltation that have been said in many religions of source, but it will be anyways because you're exalting yourself as source. But it's for your knowingness of you as love. And this has always been the message from source that I've understood. Know yourself as love. Be the embodiment of love. You're worthy of it. You are deserving of every great thing. All the profound, happy, beautiful changes that each and every one of you know is within your soul's journey. You're worthy of it. And no less. No less. And we've each come here with these perspectives and themes to pass through. And this is the elegance. This is the soft elegance of love. You pass through it. That's the transmutation. And these are these deep symbolic energies that is energy. The fear is an energy. It's the same as love. It's just seen from that perspective of not knowing itself as love. And anything can be brought back to that center and elegance. I am pure and whole love. I am pure and whole love. I am pure and whole love. I am known as this song. And each of you are the sacred hope. Each of you hold the hope of light and radiation of love. The illumination, you are the illumination that is all change. And hold it and stand with it peacefully, sacredly. Stand within a forest and say, I am sacredly and peacefully in my stillness with love. You will feel the forest shift around you and within you. You're carrying the embodiment of all fields, that holographic essence and presence and eminence that is source. You affect all things. You are all things. You are every fluid particle within and without the egg. You are the shell. You are the snake. You are the gentle hand that is holding divine source creator, holding you and embracing you in the elegance and the omnipresence as your sacredness. You know who you are as love. Sacred, the embodiment of sacredness, the embodiment of soft and gentle love, the embodiment of beautiful honoring and this beautiful new power that we're all walking into, to know ourselves as powerful, to know ourselves as light, to walk forward and release the fears and the limitations that continue that spiral of negativity or self-deprecation, whatever we define it and however we experience it, because it's all different for each of us. Where every single person has that infinity of negative and positive for growth. Each and every one of us. Nobody escapes it. No matter how evolved they may appear, we each work within that spiral of evolution. And that spiral of evolution, within the spiral of evolution, again, it's all holographic. Each of us has the infinity that we spiral within, the agitators taking us to and from growth. And we get to choose. That's the power. That's that sort of truth, that will. I get to choose. Now I get to choose. I will release that fear. And that fear is transmuted, doesn't go anywhere. That fear becomes that illumination of love. The illumination. From whence it was, illumination. You're loving yourself whole. You're loving yourself as that essence. I know who I am today. Walk with that intention. And we can offer these to the children. Who are you today? You can say no to negative energy. You can say no to those experiences that you might be bumping into. You can say no to it. You're seeing and sensing far more than you know. Own it, honor it. That's your gift. But you can choose who you want to entangle with. I choose to bring in those benevolent beings. I choose to bring in those energies that love me. I choose to create with nature and insects. And it'll come. That's you as source. That's you experiencing, exploring, and expressing yourself as source. For you have the omnipresent to entangle with. So stand in your light, honor your light, and co-create within it. And these are the frequencies of the fifth dimensional templates and consciousness templates that we are all co-creating within. And it does take practice. And we will test ourselves, and we will bring in the agitators. But that's our mastery. Our mastery is earned from this. And trust me, I've created so many tests for myself, and I keep asking myself, why would I keep doing this? And acknowledging the ride, for it's taking you on a mastery, understanding that in every way that you seek the depth and the understanding of why you're taking yourself there, the illumination will be in sacred reciprocity. You're taking yourself to those depths, and you will be brought. It's just the balancing nature mechanism of our evolution. The revolution is love, always love. Always, always, always. It's always love. So in any moment that you find yourself in any type of challenge or turbulence, you can return to your center and say, how may I love myself and release what no longer is exciting me anymore. You've done that story. I might not know how to transcend this or move through it, but I'm calling in my guides, I'm calling in my spirit team, and I'm calling in those that love me unconditionally. How may I transcend this experience so that I create a path of benevolency and greatness and goodness for me, for all that is. And you will be helped, and you will be honored, and you will be allowed to move in the most gracious way, because Source's undeniable love for you is thy will be done. I speak from this as pure experience of my pure knowing of who I am as a cosmic egg. I know this to be true. And it's for each of us to experience it in our own unique ways. I absolutely know this to be true. It's something that I will forever, forever, forever be resonating throughout the universe. I know who I am as divine sacred speed, and sacred seed, and I am source. As are you. The source within you, so jubilant, so excited, so childlike to be with you in this exploration and the experience through which you're passing through that fear, transmuting it by the love that you are, by the centering that you are, by the grounding that you are. I am here, and I will speak, and I will express, and I will experience myself as love. And if it ruffles the feathers of others, so be it, with compassion. For I am here to create new ground. I am here to create in my own unique way. And I send song of sacred symbols, and I send song of sacred text and sacred tongue. That is the vibration of holy love. For all, for all, for all, for all. For those who so desire, with the eyes to see and the hearts to hear, dear ones, for these vibrations are felt through the heart. Awaken your sacred soul, awaken. You are the love of Source, and new worlds are created by it. Hui ananakata e te e ananakata e te ke ananakata te te prai te ke ananakata te te shi ananaka. Hui ananakata te te shi ananakata ka te ananata te te ke ananakata te yoata inamma ka e te ananaka. Hui ananakata a te ke e ananaka e te ke ananaka a. Hui ananakata tai ke ananakata a shi ananaka e ke ananaka. Hui ananakata ke te e ananaka. Hi ananakata ke te denaka e ananaka e ananata. Sacred light language. Thank you, divine and holy ones. And thank you for the sacred blessing. Oh, I wanted to also talk about a little story, as I was going to let the little insect out. The other day, there was this, I came into the dining room area here, we have a chandelier, and there was a beautiful bumblebee that had, and it's so synchronistic again. I love this deck. My sacred shamanism and my sacred energy work with God. Thank you, the bee. There was a beautiful bumblebee, and it was flying around and stuck. As I've said many times before in our offerings, that all of our windows have screens on them, and I only have this window here that's open, just a slight crack. And in the resonance that I'm emitting and I'm opening up into my sacredness and my joy and my embodiment with Source, the insects just find their way to me, and the bees, I'm so very connected with the bees from other universes and other energies, that I'm connected with their frequency. And so I sat there and I began toning, and the bee began to follow me as I toned. And as I put my hands out and I was toning and singing to the bee, and I just gently and sacredly walked it outside. So, it's beautiful that that was the first time I did that. I, was, kind of like the bee whisperer, just gathering it outside. Previously, I'd put it safely in a little cup and I'd taken it outside, because they don't really normally fly away from me. They come to me. But this time I was doing it with sound, and it was just following me all the way outside. It was very beautiful, and the kids were blessed enough to see that. So there was just, again, a beautiful, loving synchronicity of how I'm able to express myself as Source now, and not feeling the fear of what others think or how I'm perceived, which were many of my fears for me to step forward. And that was those turbulences and catalyst moments that are allowing me to stand within my truth of who I am, and show that we can work and be with nature and love who we are in nature, all the fields that we are quantumly entangled within, and begin co-creating in sacred ways, which is what the masters had always come to teach us. That wasn't following certain doctrine at all. It was about us freely exploring the birthright of who we are as sacred cosmic essence. And that sacred cosmic essence is our oneness with all life, with all insects, trees, soil, and our importance that our connection, just as we acknowledge and connect as we're sending prayers and peace for Earth, peace for humanity, those energies go through and touch the earth and create those peaceful emanations and joys. So we will be offering classes and offerings that will, for those who are excited, will be tapping into how to create and feel the fields that you exist within, and how you can, create beautiful experiences with the insects, create beautiful experiences, with birds and animals and everything that is nature and God and source, the creator of all that is. So as you walk purely and refined as you are, moment for moment for moment, and there may be moments that you don't feel like that, maybe days where you don't feel like that, be okay and be soft and gentle with yourself. And just ask within, I'm ready to release this and let this go. Please assist. And you will have teams constantly working on you, but it takes for us to acknowledge what you're ready to release. And it's already alchemically starting to shift, because your teams and your higher self are constantly working on you, releasing everything that can be released to step up into the higher dimensional energies that are preparing us for fifth dimension. And it will allow us to feel many ascension symptoms, many colds, flu-like symptoms, drinking, that pasty feeling in your mouth as your cells are reproducing really quickly into a higher light frequency, and really, really tired and exhaustion. But these higher vibrational energies signal in the DNA, and they signal within the fields, and they signal within anything that's ready to be released, the densities that are ready to be released through dreams and through meditations, or through energies that just make you feel you don't understand where they're coming from. And these are those energies to be released and step through into the love of self and the honoring of self. And the standing in your power in that. And it takes practice. We've had eons of density and limitation and control. We've had eons of societal governments dictating and defining who we are and what we are, and we're redefining it in every way. We get to choose. And it begins in the most loving and blessed way that serves the greater good. If we allow it to become from that energy and essence of pure unconditional love that is sacred, true sacredness, and having that reverence and humility that is within the vibration of sacredness. Joy is within the vibration of sacredness. Tenderness, gentleness, compassion, unconditional love. Those are all the vibrational resonances of sacredness. It's your gratitude for all that you are as life, all that you are. You're within every aspect of it. And this is the huge transformational moment that those humans awakening will move into as they move along their path. I'm held within this. How do I feel about this? And to reflect upon it, might not be life altering, but those reflections of your oneness is your harmonization with source. As source, you are the embodiment of source. You are the embodiment of sacredness, purely, undeniably, lovingly, joyfully, creatively, intelligently, eternally, infinitely source. You are the cosmic egg come forward through space and time to create your own essence through your expression, your exploration, and your experience as love. This I know to be true. So we thank you, dear lighted ones, for this divine and genuine offer from my heart to all of yours. And thank you for being my soul tribe, for all of your threadings of your synchronicities with me that you might not even know. And I send my gratitude and deep honor for who you are as your own unique sacred essence. And I'm honoring you in your path for every moment that you allow yourself to be realigned in the self-love that you are worthy of, that you are blessed with and garnered with the beautiful angels and councils and beings that are with you. And fear not, they are always with you. In the moment that you call, they are there. The moment that you request, they are there. The moment that you send peace and love and offerings, it is done. The moment that you are entangled with love and peace and honoring, it is done. So never underestimate your power of presence, the influence that love has, the influence that peace has, the influence that you have. Love is a profound influencer, and it creates all peace on our planet. So I empower and I inspire those who so desire, that get excited to feel their reality shift, really truly feel their reality shift and see it in a big way. Create those intentions of powerful centeredness and oneness with sacredness in the morning and at night for your sacred wellness care, because it's going to require us over the next couple of months with these big energies that we create greater self-care aligning with who we are in our own centered power, aligning with who we are in our own centered grace. Those intentions of stillness and peace and oneness, and sending those sacred moments of peace to the planet, to those that are suffering, to those that are unawake or unaware, but looking and seeking for the energies and for the answers, and offering a compassionate and kind heart. And at any moment that anything comes forward and connects or entangles with you that feels uncomfortable, return to your center and know that you are love, and you will pass through it. So that love, again, is the revolution of love. And it's always done soft and sacredly, and with that profound power of knowing who you are. And you have every choice to say, you don't belong to me, and move it, pass through it and pass through it. And that's returning to that power of peace and power. Power is peaceful, and peace is powerful. And we wanted to say one more thing. Love, yes, love truly is, and we wanted to bring this forward. I had something else that I wanted to say, and I can't. The heavenly gifts and the heavenly spirit, source, honoring you and blessing you within all moments. And I'm very grateful that I have this opportunity to share and connect, and for all of you that enjoy these as well. And so feel free to comment and share, or like and subscribe. I never usually say those things, but I appreciate you and I value you. And creating those beautiful expectations of love for you. I expect on my path to be and experience and explore love today. I intend this for myself. I am worthy of this. And we're going to be creating affirmations for children and families, so that they're reminded in every moment that they can have the power to say no and stand in their light to the energies of the transitioning human collective, and really allow ourselves to be authentic, and knowing that we have every power and right and offering to create peace through our centeredness and our stillness in that, knowing that we are peaceful and we are powerful and we are creative, and we are allowing ourselves to be all that we are, claiming our birthright for peace, claiming our birthright for our hearts as light. And so that's beautiful. So thank you. Thank you, dear light ones. So connect with our website. We're going to be starting these classes with the fields, and playing with the fields, and co-creating with the fields, and allowing ourselves to be sacred and joyful. And from the depths of my heart, and all of the, something that came to me today was an awakening of who I was as a multiverse being. It was a multiverse energy of oneness. That's what I felt. And I've feel myself on these different collectives, but it was a multiverse essence that has I guess been, like the piercing, that focus that I am as the grounder soul, focusing me down into this body, so that I'm able to speak the truths of what I have experienced and expressed and explored within the all. And so it was quite a profound experience, and how I was able to explain and express and explore the idea of the cosmic egg, and how it can be perceived through each and all of you differently and uniquely, but how it's important for us in this next phase that we begin to really create those beautiful creative explorations that are beyond anything that we've ever done or created, and why it's important for me to express myself through sound, through the sacred intonations of light language. There are vibrational patterns that are explored as source energy, gifted as source energy, and that quantumness that is unseen, that affects the fields, that affects the axional lines, and all that we are as multidimensional source seed. And it's my deep and powerful desire to express source, to express source as sacred, to express source as loving and soft and gentle, and to revolutionize anything in the most beautiful, majestic, and elegant ways. Hummingbirds just showing up at a window that have never, just nature, just being there. And that's you and your creation with source, because you're within the field, you're within the hummingbird, you're within it all. To show yourself that you are infinitely threading yourself within the majesty of love. So it's beautiful. So in deep reverence and gratitude, I thank all of you. So explore, express, and experience yourself as source. It's your birthright. And we thank you and send great, deep, and rich blessings of love. Namaste.